Marguerite, or better known as Margaret Schur, started the first kindergarten in America at Watertown for German children. Caption: How is this classroom different from classrooms today? Government leaders in Wisconsin sold land to pay for education. The money paid teachers and bought books. Not every child could learn to read, write, and do math. The government even opened a school for deaf children in Janesville. Immigrant children often had a hard time in school. Sometimes other children made fun of them because they could not speak English very well. Wisconsin passed a law. It said that all children had to go to school. All classes had to be taught in English, linking the past to the present. How are public schools paid for today? Where does the money come from to pay all the people it takes to run a school? Immigrant groups today. I can remember staring at the sea for hours, wondering what Milwaukee would be like. Going to America then was almost like going to the moon. Golda Meir. Immigrant groups today. Families still come to Wisconsin from many countries. They come from Mexico, Central America, Eastern Europe, and Asia. Where have immigrants in your community come from? Where did they come from? The largest numbers of people came from these countries. 1840 to 1860, 1860 to 1900, 1900 to 1924, 1924 to 1965, 1965 to the present. Lesson 1, Memory Master. Question 1, what is an immigrant? Question 2, what are two ways that people on the East Coast and in Europe learned about Wisconsin? Question 3, what country did the largest group of immigrants in Wisconsin come from? If you have time, take a look at Lesson 2, Growth and Statehood. People to know, places to locate, words to understand. Caption: This is the first Capitol building in Belmont, the Wisconsin Territory. The Northwest Territory was divided up into smaller pieces of land. The Wisconsin Territory was one of the pieces. This was the next step towards statehood. The first governor of the Wisconsin Territory was Henry Dodge. He chose Belmont to be the temporary capital. The 30th state. Many people wanted Wisconsin to become a state. Once Wisconsin became a state, it could receive more land from the government in Washington, D.C. The land could be sold. The money could be used to build roads, canals, and railroads. If Wisconsin became a state, leaders could vote for laws in Washington, D.C. There is Madison, Wisconsin. Before Wisconsin could become a state, however, its population had to reach a certain number. This was part of the reason salesmen worked hard to get people to move here. The population of Wisconsin grew quickly after the Wisconsin Territory was created. The economy grew too. Farming became more important than mining. Lumber also became a major industry. Finally, there were enough people in the Wisconsin Territory for it to become a state. A state constitution was written. In 1848, Wisconsin became the 30th state of the United States of America. A state capital. Some people thought building a new capital city would be better than choosing a town that already existed. Every town wanted to be the capital city. There would be more business in a capital city. It was finally decided that a new town would be built to be the capital. The town of Madison was built. Madison soon had roads, homes, businesses, and government buildings. The story of the two Ds. In the years before Wisconsin became a state, its history was affected by the two Ds, Henry Dodge and James Doty. Both men became Wisconsin governors. Both served in Congress. In some ways, they looked like each other. They were both over 6 feet tall. Neither had a beard. They held their heads high and walked proudly. But they also were very different. Dodge was known as a young man with fearless honesty. He had a temper, however, that sometimes got him into trouble. Though he could read and write, he had not gone to school much. He was a war hero. He came to Wisconsin and made a place for himself in the rough world of lead mining. Dodge often shocked people. He dressed in rugged clothes and usually carried a knife. He used bad language. He once scared a hotel maid by leaving his large knife under the pillow. Dodge had a reputation for using his strength and will to get his way. Doty went to school and became a lawyer at the age of 20. He was always polite and he dressed well. But people did not always trust him. Doty was not always honest. Doty received the credit for pushing Wisconsin to becoming a territory. Later, when Wisconsin became a state, he was elected as a senator. He went to Washington, D.C. to help make laws for the whole country.